Well, it's late night at the Ford dealership out here. I'm gonna turn the camera around because all these videos seem to be going backwards for some reason or other when it's a live stream. This way I can maybe look at it, and here's what we got out here in the showroom. Let me walk in here and flip on some lights. Oh, me. In the darkest second, let's see what we got. There we go, lights. Got a little bit of lights. Now turn on the lights in here. All right, these LEDs are kicking in here. Good deal, good deal. Need to go in here and see if they got this other. We had issue with hey, Lagan, how you doing? Hey, Gaston Mechanic. Gaston Mechanic, are you by any chance from Gaston County, where I'm from? I don't know what that gas. All right, you got it fixed. We had some, I don't know if it'll blind you, but I put new LEDs up in here too. We're trying to get all this straightened out and everything. Got to fix that big hole. But then, well, let me turn that light back on. Let me turn these lights on. You're in Charlotte. Oh, okay. Gaston Mechanics in Charlotte. Okay. Well, I'm not too far from you. I'm over here in Gaston County in a little town of Cherryville. I got a new Snap-on TX. What is? I don't know what a TXL 72 is, Lakin. Is that a toolbox? Well, the old store's still open. The new store, it's under construction, as you will see. the old store is operational right now, and we're trying to get this old Ford dealership. We bought the Ford dealership in Cherryville, the former Ford dealership, and we're trying to get it operational. I'm walking around in it right now. Of course, I'm trying to figure out why we had some lights we put in today. These LEDs they've got it nice and bright in here. Love the look of these LEDs, I can tell you that. Yep, the old Ford dealership is going to be the new Napa store. If you want to look it up on the internet, it's 1313 Shelby Highway in Cherryville, North Carolina. That's the address. I'm turn on, all right, LED in here. Boys did pretty good. I put on flashlight out here. Well, we're going to open up a Napa service center. Hey, JC. Yeah, I hope I love the new electric bill. Cherryville is notorious for high electric bills. I'm in here checking out my flood from today. We had a monsoon here came through. They got this tropical storm. You'll see a little bit of my flashlight. Yeah, we're going to get a full-blown repair shop's what we're going to try to do, Gaston. And yeah, I need to get me some good, what is it, ASE. Let me go over here and flip on this light. I don't believe they got the fluorescent. The Ford dealership closed about 25 years ago as a Ford dealership, and it has been a couple other things since then. Let me turn on this light. I'm going through here flipping on lights and checking on what all they got done today. We're trying to see. I got a breaker box. Had a lot of good oak wood back there. Y'all can see that. That's some good oak wood that I put an oak floor in one of my trailers. I had a tilt top trailer. I put a new oak floor. Let me see, is this a switch here? Nope, that's electrical. Wait a minute. Does that go over to that, and that? I don't know where the heck that goes. You're gonna have to bear with me, guys. I've got a flashlight back here in the back room. I'm going over to an electrical panel. They got these huge electrical panels back here, as you can see. And I don't know where the lights are back here. So wait a minute. How about this switch? Flip that switch, see what it does. Nothing. Oh man, I got a monsoon up here today. It just, the bottom dropped out of it. How did it do down in Charlotte? About the same? I mean, it was a monsoon up here. I mean, I think we got about 3 inches of rain. Phew, get back into daylight here. Yeah, I'm checking the building for leaks and everything else while I'm going through here, because we saw some gutter issues we have to have. I've got the gutters right outside that I'm gonna have to fix. Yeah, I know it. Well, I think we had some tornado warnings. It was pretty violent here. I mean, I was here at the dealership, and I'm glad I was, because I saw some of the water issues when I was here. So we got to fix some guttering problems. We're going to jump on that tomorrow if we can, get the guys to do that. And yeah, I'm just checking out all the LED lights and everything, making sure. I'm proud of that. Boy, that looks good now. But boy, we can see how dirty it was in here. Lord have mercy. We got a lot of painting to do. There's going to be a lot of painting, and let me see if I can find a showroom light. I mean, a garage light out here. We ain't got hardly a garage light one out here. Let me see what I got over here. Gotta double check this door. Yep, they were in and out. I've got a couple of big pressure washers. I want to make sure nobody comes and borrows. All right, I'm in the dark again a little bit. There's been about 2 or 3 in here. The longest was a heat and air condition. Longs, well, not Longs Heat and Air. It was Carolina Heating and Air Condition was in here. And they, I know it probably looks like one of these horror movies here. I'm trying to double check some lights and not turn on crap that I don't need on. 6, West Shop receptacle. Let's see. 4 is furnace control air. Don't need that. I'm trying to find some lights that we got. What is that number? That'd be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 11 is off. What is 11? 11 is not listed. You might know. 11, not listed. Shop and bath storage. Let me flip it on. I'm gonna see what the heck it is. Bear with me. Did nothing. Flip it off. I'm gonna take a chance leaving stuff on that I don't need on. Thing's got all kind of timers, big controls. It sounds like a bomb ready to tick off here. Those timers. All right, on. Yeah, that's phone circuitry there. Big electrical boxes, Square D. I had a buddy who used to work at Square D. All right, air handler, I don't need that on. Hot water heater, I don't need that on. All right, I have no idea what some of those are. Gosh, there's too many. We're gonna have to run down some circuits. Too many circuits in here. And that's just one of them. I got another panel in here. Need to see if it is. I turn off my flashlight now. See if this one's all lit up. Oh, let's see, what do we got up here? On bath lights, bathroom light, Brian's office, hall rack, Keith's office, showroom, receptacle, fridge. So, okay, crap. What? Is everything on? Everything's on this thing, so there's no use turning anything off. All right. We got 2 mains here. Now, what the heck are this for? Breakers with trip positions. I have no idea. That's what you get with an old building sometimes. You don't know exactly what you're getting, and you got to do research. And we have been researching the HVAC. As you'll see, I've been going up in the guts and the bowels of the situation to see what all we got. I haven't taken suspended, but it's a great building. It's got the I know it's hard to see. What the heck? And we're checking out everything we can about it. So far, I'm loving it. It's basically got what they call the red steel. That's what a lot of people do under construction. They call it a red steel building because usually it comes with this powder-coated red steel. I guess it's powder-coated. And you check it out and see if there's any kind of leaks. So far, so good. This building is tight. I got to redo the ceiling. I mean the actual metal on the ceiling a little bit. But we're real pleased with it. Real pleased with it. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing they do. They put one HVAC. But they never did mess with this showroom because they just used the showroom as their parts and really let it go in disrepair. So we had to come in here and change that. And we've got to, I'm gonna put R40 insulation up above this suspended ceiling. I mean, let me show you this. The suspended ceiling in the showroom. And if you can see up in there, there you go, I've got a good, probably two to 3 feet, probably close to 3 feet suspended up in there that I can put some insulation in. And that's what I'm gonna attempt to do. I'm gonna try to, all right, and here's my office. Woohoo, this is gonna be my office in here. There's some of these LED lights we're putting in. Went online and got some replacements to replace the all of them. I'm gonna turn it around here. Oh man, you can see me a little bit. And here's the reason I like this as my office. Ta-da! Has its own throne. You can't beat it. Can't beat it. A man needs his own throne in his office. Mr. Beam, this was his office when he had the dealership out here. It was Marvin Beam Ford dealership. That's what it was for a number of years. He had the place uptown in Cherryville ever since I was a kid. And then he moved it out here to 150 back in the late 60s. And I actually worked here as a salesman after I about went busted in one of my first big job adventures. I kind of fell on my butt and I came back and worked as a car salesman. When all else fails, go to be a car salesman. And it'll give you a good education, I'll tell you that. All right, good. Got the LED lights in here. Oh yeah, checking them all out. Make sure my guys were working today, which they appear to be. I'm checking up behind what we didn't have this morning. I think it was this one here. I think my old office was this one here, or either where we got the HVAC handler now, I don't know. Yeah, you see it. I did pretty good as a car salesman. I was full of shit like the rest of them. Sorry my language there, but I was selling Fords. I always believed in Fords. I always liked Fords. And there you can see me in that plate glass window there. I was a lot younger, a lot slimmer, and a lot better looking back then. So yeah, I could sell. Yeah, that's what your wife says about you. I guarantee you can. Yeah, I know you can sell good, JC. Yeah, I like selling snow cones to Eskimos myself, and you know, and you have to be. You got to believe in yourself. That's the main thing. A lot of people have asked me how to be successful. And first off, you got to believe in yourself. Yep, that's right. And when you know it's right, you can sell it. You can sell it then, and that's the thing. I try my best to, I like selling a good product, and that's what even at my sale that I just had, I was brutally honest with the people when they were buying from me, and I let them know on each truck what we had done to it, what was. Yeah, I understand, Gaston. Now, Gaston, are you living in Gaston County or living in Mecklenburg County? You said you work in Charlotte. Are you living in, you said Gaston Mechanic. Are you from Gaston County originally? My wife taught school in Gaston way back in the 70s. When she first got out of college, she taught at Ashbrook, and you're in Mecklenburg County. Yeah, I've got a lot of trucks down there in Mecklenburg County. I'm over, our trucks are right off Toddville Road over there at the FedEx ground facility. So if you know where Toddville Road is, you know exactly where I'm over there near Tanktown off 27 and Toddville Road. That's where the FedEx ground facility is. Are you working in a shop in Mecklenburg County, Gaston? Because that's, are you working for an independent shop, or do you work for yourself, or what do you do? Hey, Doug, how you doing? Yes to which one? I guess I asked about 3 questions. You work for yourself in a shop, or you work at a shop? Indie shop, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of different truck shops over there. Are you doing truck work, or are you doing car work? I know of a couple of independent truck shops over there in car. Okay. Yep. Okay. Well, that's good. If you want to, of course, are you from Gaston County originally? Is that why you got Gaston Mechanic? I was curious about that the other day when I saw it. I saw you on some other sites, and I saw it was Gaston Mechanic. I go, daggum, that's got to be somebody close to me over here, since I'm in Gaston County. But yeah, I like living in Gaston County. It's a good little place. Okay, so you're from Mecklenburg, huh? But just go by Gaston Mechanic. Okay, I got you. I thought there was a relationship with Gaston County, because like I say, my wife taught in a couple of different schools in Gaston County. She taught at Ashbrook High School over in Gastonia. And then, I see I'm cheating, JC. I'm driving the old Dodge Ram today. I know you saw me earlier today. I had my grandson with me, and I got the Dodge Ram instead of my Ford. I got Landon's driving my Ford right now, but the big Ram, I like him too. She gets around pretty good. I've been doing a lot of heavy hauling today, so I needed it anyway, so that's not a bad thing. Yeah, I'm just trying to check out all these things that we got to get pressure washed off, and check out all these leaks. It's tough. It's tough trying to figure all this stuff out. But I think we're coming along. You got 2 of the 35s? Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I like those 35. Now mine are just 2-wheel drive. Now my mechanic, Larry, his is 4-wheel drive. He's got a little bit newer one than me, and his is 4-wheel drive, 3500. Of course, it comes in handy if we had to pull a tractor trailer truck out in I see we repaired on one of those Rams last week. Oh yeah, yeah. I like them though. Those are pretty good. Yeah, they're pretty good trucks. I've had good service out of that truck. Both yours are 4-wheel drive. Yeah, they do good with four-wheel drive towing. Yeah, that one's a 2012 that I bought new. That's a 2012 3500. It's one before the DEF was mandated, which is good, and I'm glad of that. It's got that 6-speed automatic, and it gets pretty good fuel mileage. It gets about 14 to, well, around town, around 14 to 15. When you get it out on the road, I can get a little bit better. I've gotten 17, you know, kind of cruising along, not kicking it too bad. And then I've gotten, y'all guys are seeing a lot of my work stuff. Yeah, I've gotten about 17, like I say, when you don't kick down on it too bad. It's not too bad to do. See some of DeWalt tools. My electrical stuff we're working with. I went out and bought the 2-inch, not 2, pre-def, the other one's def. But you deleted it? Oh, okay. Yeah. I went out and bought the, not 2-inch, the 2-foot light, because I knew we had a bunch of these 2-foot lights right here. I had the two, you'll see, these 2-foot, and I had them in the ceiling. So like a brainiac, I go out and I said, well, I'll just get the 2-foot bulbs online to replace it. Little did I forget to check, it was the 2-foot that was round. Both electrical connections on one end. So I basically, it was one, well, it looks like, I guess that's a 4-footer that's bent, is what it amounts to. But, so I kind of screwed up. I screwed up there, and I've got a bunch of 2-foot bulbs for units. I don't have 4. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to take advantage of that. Oh me, well, I've checked out everything, guys. I'm gonna head back to the house. I wanted to check out my lights. I've enjoyed chatting with everybody. When or where? I'm buying them online, Gaston. I bought them online at on Amazon. And the bulbs, I'll show you the different ones I've gotten. It's on Amazon. It was just one of the sites on Amazon. I'm trying to think the name of it. I'll show you the carton. Came from a company called Paramita LED Technologies. Yeah, that's what I got, JC. That's what we've done here. That's what these are. We took all the ballast out of the old, and that's what this is right here. We took the ballast out, wired it direct, and they're working great because I wanted to be able to, I had so many fixtures as you see up here. I got, see, about 20, I think 28 lights right in here. 28 lights with four bulbs, but they're only 18 watts, but they put out the equivalent of 70, I think. And the old bulbs were only 40 watts. And just, here's the old fluorescent tubes that we took out. They were 40, and so we're gonna be less than half on the rating. Oh, I love LED technology. I love it. Because, I mean, this showroom's never been this lit up. I mean, I remember when it was new, and it was never this lit. And then, you know, after a couple of months, you got one of them flickering or something, and then you have to get up here and change them out. Or if you have a ballast that burns, it smells like old burnt syrup or molasses or something, and that's a stinkingest smell. So I don't want to have that technology again. So that's why I've switched to this. And like I said, I love it. Instant on, that's the other thing. No worry about, I mean, you can just look at this. I'll flip it off and on. I mean, here is, there they're out. And now instantly on. Every one of them come on perfect too. That's the thing about it. The fishbowl. Yeah, that's about right. That's about the way it looked like that. Yep, sure is. But let me turn on this outside corner light there. So what we got? I'm gonna see if something comes on. Nope. We got something we're gonna have to trace down. We replaced some outside light. Well, the Ford dealership closed. It actually sold. Mr. Beam died. And they don't let him run the dealership after he's dead. Making a joke. And his children didn't want to continue on with it. So they actually sold it to another competing dealership over in Shelby. And they ran it for a few years. And then Ford actually has pulled out of a lot of small markets like this. I mean, just in this area right here, Kings Mountain, they closed that dealership. Lincolnton, 12 miles to the right, they closed that dealership. Shelby's is still hanging on. That's right, they get you a fish in the aquarium. Yeah, well, I always felt like it was a cattle type thing, whereas you're out there and you corral the people in. It's like taking a poker and you poke them and poke them and poke them until they walk inside the showroom, and you know you get. Really, I didn't have to. I didn't have to check in the soil for any contaminants. There wasn't any tanks or anything on the ground, and I'm grandfathered in, so I'm not going to scratch dirt. I can tell you that. I was grandfathered in because I just took over the building. Everything was existing, and that's the purpose of me buying this building. No, there was no in-ground tanks out here. That's the good thing. That's the good thing. They did have one above ground, but we're going to use that as a waste oil tank. And so, no, they didn't have any gas. They didn't have any gas on their premises. I mean, well, they did, but they had it above ground. And they got, like I said, they got one big one out back, and we're going to repurpose it for putting the used oil. It's about a 1,000-gallon tank. Yep, you said that right. You try to get permission with all these permits and everything out there, it'll drive you crazy. I know that that's what it'll do. No, I don't. And I've had enough dealings with EPA. I had them to come out, and I had a fuel tank that got ruptured on one of my trucks down in Charlotte. And he was getting on Westinghouse Boulevard down there. And some guy that had scrap metal in front of him, a piece of metal, fell off, and my driver couldn't get stopped in time, and he ran over that metal and punctured a fuel tank. Well, that's exactly right. The ones that can't do, yeah. We got a lot of those governed people that don't do things right. But anyway, oh, I know it, and that's what they did. They came out, and my driver called 911, which I wanted to get all over his butt for that. I said, we could have solved a lot of that. But they came out, looked like a little baby swimming pool out there, out underneath my tank, drained all my fuel. Oh yeah, it was costly. They drained all my fuel out of that tank, and then they started to drain the fuel out of the other tank, and I said, whoa, hell no, you're not doing that. They said, oh yeah, we got to get all the fuel out. I said, no, hell you don't either. I said, I got a crossover, we'll cut it off right now. I had my mechanic with me, we jumped underneath there, cut the crossover off, and nothing came over to the right side like they thought. And I said, by the way, I said, I want that fuel. They said, we got to dispose of it. I said, I'm going to dispose of it in that damn tank of mine right there. We're going to pump it in it. I'm taking it home with me. I said, that's good diesel fuel. They said, oh, we can't do that. I said, oh, hell, you can too. And I argued with them, and finally the fire chief down there let me do it. They were going to charge me to take my fuel so they could run it in their F-350s, I can tell you that. And they knew it, and I knew it, because there was nothing contaminated about that fuel. And we took it, we had a pump with us, we sucked it right back out of that little pool, and what was the rest of the tank? Yep, they were going to charge me to haul it off, and they were going to charge me to dispose of it. And how they were going to dispose dispose of it. I know because they came up with about 4 or 5 F-350 diesels. So I guarantee that they were disposing of it in their fuel tanks. They weren't taking that fuel anywhere. They knew how to capture it and how to save it and how to suck it dry. But when I saw that they were going to take my other fuel tank that was not leaking and drain it dry, and it had 160 gallons in, I said, whoa, stop right there. That's when it was $4 a gallon too. And I said, no way, Jose. And I stopped them. And thank goodness we got that done. But yeah, the cleanup cost me, they'd burn it. They'd burn it in their fuel tanks. Yeah, I know a government agency. They bunch of crooks on some of them, you know. But I had a first cousin that used to work for the EPA in Raleigh, and he let me know right quick because I jumped all over him one time. I said, I got a bill. I think it was $5,700 is what it costs, if you want to know what it costs for that fuel cleanup. They charged me $5,700. My deductible was $2,000. I had to pay the first $2,000, and the insurance paid the rest of it. But yeah, it's what it is. Legalized extortion. Yeah, just have a big truck and have a fuel spill. I know of a guy on the eastern part of the state, they charged him for cleaning up pickle juice, called it a contaminant, wouldn't let it grow. They charged him because it was about to go into a creek, and they charged him, I want to say, almost $250,000 because it had a tanker full of pickles and pickle juice. And it was on the news. I remember reading about it, and it bankrupted the company almost just because they charged him so much, which is ridiculous. But that's the way it goes. Yeah, well, I know, that's what I'm saying. Well, this one was contained, it was right underneath the underpass of 480, well, 77 was going overhead. It was where you get off of 77 and you go right left to, Westinghouse Boulevard. And it was right there, if you're familiar with the area. And I know if you're living in Charlotte, you're familiar with that area for sure. That's where a lot of the industrial parks are down there on that side of town. But that's where it was, and it was in a ravine. It was in a ravine right underneath the overpass. So I mean, I-77 was going right overhead, and that's where it was. That happened about, I want to say about 5 years ago on that one. And about 15 or 20 years ago, I had one up in Asheville that the boy ran over a leaf spring in the road and punctured a fuel tank. I'm gonna walk back in here. Now this is gonna be my wife's office. She's already cornered this one. She says, this is actually bigger than mine. I got a throne though, she doesn't have a throne. And we're gonna tear out these walls. We're gonna tear out these walls right here so we'll have access. We're gonna have all the parts back in here, and then also in this other area too. These are not supporting walls, so I don't have to worry about, the only thing it supports is the suspended ceiling here and some duct work. So we're gonna be cognizant of the fact of what we can and can't tear out. I'm gonna try to be pretty good with it, but I'm gonna take out these walls right here. Yeah, I know it. Yeah, I heard the ecosystem down in Charlotte and the ecosystem up in Asheville. Yeah, by getting, well, they sent me the bill on the one up in Asheville, and it said remove soil. They filled 5 55-gallon drums of the dirt and disposed the dirt in a undisclosed area for it to evaporate. And I asked my cousin, I said, what the heck they mean by all that? Oh, I know. That's what you get with the car dealerships, all these little offices. And it's going to be a nightmare in some ways to get all these things cut out. I've got, well, this one actually has the air handler for the HVAC, the heat and air conditioning guy. When he, as you can see, there's my HVAC on this one. And it does a good job to to do the back part, but I've got to put another system in. Yeah, that's what they did. They basically disposed that pile of dirt on, and my cousin said they put it on plastic and then let it evaporate naturally. And I asked him, I said, wouldn't the same daggum thing happen if they left it on the side of the road? He said, well, they're afraid that it might seep into a creek. And I said, it was so damn far away, and there's no way in the world. It would take them 100 years to seep into a creek. He said, well, that's still the way they do it. So whatever they decide to do, they're going to do, whether you like it or not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long it takes diesel to evaporate. I'm not a college genius on that, so I couldn't tell you. I know one thing. Let's see if I got any. Do I have any lights on back in here? Oh, yep, I do. Let me cut this one off back in here. I'm undoing what I did a while ago. Let me go back. Yeah, and if you're worried about it being choppy back here, I have got more friggin' little offices than you can shake a stick at. Whoops, got too dark real quick. Yeah, they had all kind of ideas. Not always good ones, but they had all kind of ideas. Whoops, in the dark, guys, in the dark. In the dark for a second. Coming back to light. All right. And switches galore. See, I got to cut this switch off. Did I get them all three on one? Cool, did I get them all three? Oh no, I got two. I got another one in the middle. So I can cut. It's been, well, no, it just emptied out. I mean, we bought it, and the Carolina Heat and Air Conditioning just moved out just a few weeks ago. It's never been empty. Like I said, it's been occupied from forever. I don't think it's ever had an empty day, actually. And it's just been used for other things other than a car dealership. Like I said, the car dealership part left here about, I would say, not quite, probably early 90s, because Mr. Beam died. He died in the 80s. I want to say he died around, no, it's a good place. There's 7 acres of land here. There's houses on both sides, front and back, front and side of it here, and there's veterinarians and a radio station's right down here too. Veterinarian shop and a radio station. And then right beside me is a roofing contractor. And then other than that, it's been occupied the whole time. I mean, it's not been an abandoned building. So I mean, I was able to grandfather everything in electrical wise and the water and all the utilities. I'm grandfathered right through there, and I wanted it that way because I didn't want to have one completely shut down and then had to have it redone and then have everything inspected and them tear me apart. They would tear me a new one if I did that, and that's one thing I didn't want to do is be torn a new one. It's bad enough to go through the inspections that I'm going to have to go through without that. But I didn't do it. Well, I'm going to shut her down over here, guys. It's been nice chatting tonight. It's hot in this building, though, so I'm going to get out of here. Y'all take care, and I'll catch you back out here on the backside.